Welcome to Birthing Purpose with Lana. Today we have LaVine Allen. She is a vocational counselor, consultant, and trainer. LaVine has devoted over 20 years to the growth and development of individuals spiritually and in the marketplace. She is the founder of the Victorious Women's Ministry, in which she has equipped women to live their best lives through conferences, seminars, study groups, and individual consultation. In her first book, Single Mothers Listen, I Have Some Secrets to Tell You, she unfolds 7 secrets about single parenting. It is an inspirational guide for single mothers that takes the mystery out of single parenting by providing detailed instructions on how to build their lives. So through her writing, it is LaVine's hope that every single mother will experience great success as they journey through raising their children, and that mothers and their children will live happily, healthy, full lives. Welcome,
Thank you.
LaVine.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
having me.
sharing your gifts and inspirations with the world. So I wanted you to come here today to discuss this book and your journey to birthing this book. Yes. Yes. So you want to give a little bit more detail about the book or how you came about writing this book?
Well, the book was basically inspired from being a single parent. I was a single parent. And there's different things that I had to learn along my journey to single parenting so that I could have like a balanced household. Um, at the time that I was pregnant, of course, it was a very stressful time in my life. And I knew that in my mind back then, all those years ago, my daughter is grown now, but all those years ago, I knew I had to get things in order in my personal life in order to provide a stable, balanced environment for her. And so it was pretty much just birthed from my experience as
Mm-hmm.
a single parent.
And how old is your daughter?
My daughter is 25 years old.
Okay. So fast forward, what made you say, now she's all grown,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do this now? Were you seeing single mothers struggle?
I've
Yeah, her struggle. So you're like, let me write this book and help everybody else.
right. Um, Down throughout the years, I mean, as she was growing up and getting older, and as I became more, my walk became closer with God. Um, I began to, God began to just show me different things. And I did begin to just see the struggle uh, of the single mother, different things that they struggle with. This addressed in the book, things like shame, anger, unforgiveness, things like that. And I would see women, and it just like tugged at my heart.
Yeah.
And I felt like even through the women's ministry that I could offer services or just different things to help, the single woman to live a more fruitful life, a more life that's more peaceful, that's more balanced with their children. So, yeah, she's grown. So it was in the making, and God knew that it was, in the making, and it was even prophesied years ago when she was younger that you were going to write a book. That I was going to write a book. And I really didn't give it much thought. I remembered it, but I'm like, well, I don't even, at that time, it was the furthest thing from my mind.
Right.
So that's pretty much how it was birthed, just for my compassion, I guess, for women and the things that they struggle with.
Yes.
In my experience, because I struggled with some of the same things that they struggled with. So
How long did it take you to write the book?
It took a long time. Like I said, she was young when that was prophesied. She was still a child, still young.
Mm-hmm.
And it just took many years to finally get to the point of sitting down, figuring out exactly what he wanted me to write about, and then writing it.
Right. But you never gave up, and you stuck through it, through the long journey. And the whole process, you stuck through the process. Like, you didn't jump ship. You know, you stayed on. You said, I'm going to get this book out. No matter how long it takes, I'm getting this book out.
Over the last couple of years, I would say maybe is when I really started sitting down and writing the book. And that's probably when the real journey of writing the book began. And I did stick that out. That was a very frustrating time period. But I knew that it was something that I had to do. I didn't want to, because I knew it was something that God wanted me to do. And it was something that people needed to hear. Yeah. So I didn't want to like abort that purpose, because it would have been devastating, I think, on many different levels, because people would not be able to read the book that may need to read the book. So I would not feel what God wanted me to fulfill in life. So yeah. So the real journey to writing was maybe a couple of years ago.
Right. And you said you had some really difficult times. So you want to talk a little bit about your labor pains? Because we all go through them. When we're trying to birth something, there's always these roadblocks.
Right.
You know, discouraging things that happen, you know. So what are some of the labor pains you experienced in writing this book?
Some of them is just like what you mentioned, writer's block. Writer's block, time management was a big one. Just getting stuck, because I wanted to write, you know, what I felt like God wanted me to write, to present. So I had to be prayerful. You know, I had to be in the Word and pray to make sure I am in the book putting the things that people need to hear in the book. I also want to mention, because I know you also interviewed the Akron Summit.
Yeah, I was going to bring them up and how instrumental they were in
they were push. Yeah, they were very instrumental in
writer's block,
encouraging me. I got the encouragement to really move forward after I got involved with Akron Summit Scribe. So they played a very important role in helping me to like get it done.
Yes.
So, so that pretty much is, you know, some of the birthing pains was time management, writer's block, just, you know, a lot of times you write a whole bunch of stuff and then you go back and you read and it's like, it doesn't even make sense what you wrote. So editing, you know, every step of the way to me was a challenge.
Right.
But with every challenge, I felt like I got a little bit stronger and I felt like I could meet the next challenge.
Right.
Right down to getting it published, you know, choosing a book cover, everything was kind of a challenge, but with every challenge, I got stronger and stronger. And I was too close to the end to
give up,
let it go. Right.
I know about that. I checked out your website and it is nice. So you coming soon is Liberty Boot Camp.
Oh, you want to talk about Liberty Boot Camp?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Liberty Boot Camp.
Well, Liberty Boot Camp, that was actually birthed out of going through in certain neighborhoods, driving through to pick up people that I know. I would see women and their children, and just driving in my car, just anywhere I would see women and their children, and I would see some of the struggles of some of the women, and I thought, you know, and that's how Liberty Boot Camp birthed. You know, boot camp is something that is very rigorous. When you think of it, you think of like those boot camps that they have, like exercise boot camps. Go in and they try to kill you, working you out.
Boot camp, I'm like, not for me. That's too rigorous.
Well, it's a training ground. You know, it's a training ground.
I don't want it. I got boot camp in other areas of my life. I don't want.
And I called it that because I felt like it was a training ground that they needed, like very aggressive type of
Yeah.
intervention.
Yes.
Um, and it's something that it takes discipline. And I
Yeah.
felt like it's something that in order to get out of it, what people are trying to teach, it takes discipline. So
Yeah.
the boot camp, I did it years ago. I took a group of women through it right in my home years ago. It was 4 sessions. And we went through the 4 sessions, and the 4 sessions that I picked just deal with like everyday type of things I think that affect all human beings. Number one, thinking.
Mhm.
How we think affects our life. That's also in my book. Like if your thinking is inappropriate,
Mhm.
it can basically kind of mold how your life will go. Like
Mhm.
if you think that you're dumb or that you're stupid or whatever, or even if you've been told that, you may not really advance or progress in life because you feel like you're not smart enough to do it. So, um, it was called stinking thinking. You are what you think you
Right.
are. So you will become what you think you are if you don't get your thinking in order. So that's one session is thinking. One is on decision making, which is another huge one. Bad decisions. I made bad decisions that affected my life for years. So if we learn how to make the right decisions, it will affect your life, and not only your life, but it affects generations to come.
Yes.
Forgiveness is one session, and then what you do is the last one is discovering the hidden treasure within. It talks about purpose.
Mm.
So those are the 4 things that the Liberty Boot Camp
Oh,
is about. So it's going to be coming soon. I have to get together slides and different things and learn how to navigate these different social media platforms, Zoom, and the
right.
different
Yeah.
things like that. So
Mhm.
in order to do that,
You ever thought about a little book club to kind of go through the book for those who purchased it
mhm,
and kind of go through each secret and discuss each secret and just to talk about it like a little discussion book
that
club?
would be good. That's a good idea. I never thought about that. I was trying to think of different ways to pull out certain chapters in the book. And that would be a good thing to do is to,
And after they purchase it, sign them up for a little
right,
book
you
discussion
purchase the book and we
session
go
or
over the
something.
different
Yeah.
things. So
Because
a
they may
lot of
have
what's in the
questions.
boot camp is in the book also.
Mm.
So,
Because they
uh,
may have questions and
mhm,
maybe even more elaboration.
right.
So
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll take that into consideration. I may do that.
yeah. And what about the single fathers?
The single fathers, um, you know, I they're
Can this
important
education
too.
help the single dads as well?
Parents, period, are important, and the single fathers are important. I in this book just targeted a certain group, and that was the women.
Mhm.
I've had different people read the book, and they would like to give it to people who are not single, who are not a single parent, because they feel like it would benefit them because it's principles. It's principles
So
that
these
can
principles can go for single men,
right.
married mothers, married fathers,
It's for
everyone.
anybody who wants to, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's just principles. If they apply it, it will benefit their life.
Mhm.
So the single father can get the single mother's book and read it.
Exactly, right. That's what I'm trying to let
Yeah,
them know. Single dads get
yeah.
the book too. No.
Single dads can read that also. But yeah, I just wanted to target a certain audience. And
So now that like after you wrote the book, did you find yourself going back and having to use your own secrets? Or like look back and be like, I said that. Let me put my own
yeah,
words into
exactly.
practice.
You're
Like,
exactly
because
right.
I had with my birthing purpose book, it stays in my brain and I'm constantly having to reread my own material in my mind
Right.
to remind myself, is that purpose? What you
Yeah,
doing? Get
I
off track.
did. As I was like even proofing the book, I thought, well, I need to apply some of this stuff to my life right now because, it was
Mhm.
something that I needed right now. So yes, I have looked at the book as I looked at it. And I
Yeah,
thought, yeah,
right.
that I have dealt with in my life since the book, I could apply some
Yeah.
of the things.
Yeah, this
So,
stuff is forever, right?
right. Yeah.
So, um, any last minute words for moms out there, or single moms or single dads?
For single moms, I think in general for single moms, that our children really are our main priority. Um, and we can't lose ourselves. And that's also in the book too. You have to invest in yourself also,
Mm-hmm.
because investing in yourself helps your whole entire family. But I think that a lot of single parents need to realize that they're only going to be little for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and they really are our main priority while they're growing up. I know especially as a single parent, you probably feel like, you've given up so much in your life. And I remember people saying things to me that I didn't like to hear
Mm.
because it was things that I wanted to happen in my life, and I wanted them to happen now, not when my daughter grows up. But they really are your main priority. And I've learned, being on the other end of it, having a grown daughter, that I'm so glad that she was like my main priority.
Mm.
I have the rest of my life to do everything else. And
Right.
with her being my main priority, with providing that stable environment,
Mm-hmm.
environment where there was structure,
Mm.
um, she blossomed and she's doing well in life. So, I think a lot of times single mothers feel like, oh, I'm missing out on something. I want to go here. I
Mm-hmm.
want to go there. And other people are watching their kids and keeping their kids alive. When I think that should be, that, you know, you should be able to count on both of your hands, maybe the number of times that your child has stayed somewhere growing up or always at somebody's house. Um, so, I just think that the children are the main priority while they're still young and growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to lose yourself while they're being the main priority. There is a purpose and a plan for your life as your child is growing up, but they are our main focus.
All right.
Was that a dog that I saw?
That's good. Yes.
Okay.
So let me share your information. This is the baby. I want to
Okay.
showcase your baby. Single mothers, I have some secrets to tell you. So if you want to purchase this book, right, tell them where to go.
Oh, let me see if I got the website. I don't have it memorized. Let's see.
Okay, I
If
got
you
it.
want to purchase it, you can go to these different places on this website that's right in front of me.
Right.
Yeah,
lavictoriouswoman.wixsite.com/my site, right?
correct.
And,
And you can also visit my email address and drop an email at lavictoriouswoman@gmail.com.
and your Facebook page is Victorious Women's Ministry.
Ministry. That is actually my Instagram page.
Oh, Victorious Women's Ministry?
Victoria's Women's Ministry is the Instagram page, and the
Okay.
Victoria's Women is the Facebook. Just Victoria's Women is the Facebook.
Oh,
So, yeah,
let's take that off. Okay.
correct. Yes, that's correct.
And that's Facebook. All right.
That's Facebook. Yeah. So,
All right. There we go. Okay. Yes. So I'm excited. I will definitely, although I'm not a single mom, I will
right.
definitely purchase it because one, I like to support everyone that I interview. And two, there's someone out there that I know that I can bless with this book.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll definitely be purchasing a copy.
Okay.
So thank you so much for taking the time, and I wish you all the success on all your endeavors to come.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.